Gentlemen, what an honor it is to be here with you. Two other Marines. I am a Marine as well. Bob Parsons, you've done so much, and of course, General Dunford, you've done so much for Marines. Let's talk about the Semper Fi Fund, the Semper Fi and America's Fund now. I've been with it so long, it was back when it was just the Semper Fi Fund, but now we've added America's Fund as well to that. Can you tell me, if you don't mind, General, jumping in on this one, I'm curious, educate us on what the mission is.
Sure. Well, as you know, Rob, a number of men and women who serve have catastrophic wounds and injuries that really have a big impact on their lives. And so the primary purpose of the fund is to give them as much of the independence and the quality of life as they would have had in the context of their injuries.
Well, and people, when I talk to people about this, they say, well, isn't the government taking care of that? Doesn't Uncle Sam, isn't they supposed to jump in and do that? And yes, to a certain degree, they do, but there's always gaps. There's always gaps. And I always feel like that's what the Semper Fi and America's Fund really helps to do. Is that accurate?
Look, I couldn't agree more. That's exactly right. I mean, there's only so much the government is going to do, and then the private sector has to pick up and fill those gaps, as you talked about, and that's exactly what we seek to do.
Good, awesome. Mr. Parsons, you have spearheaded so much of so many different projects, so many different ways to help our veterans, obviously being a big supporter of the Semper Fi and America's Fund. You also do a lot in other ways. What are you happy to see going on here?
Well, I love the fact that the Semper Fi Fund is being represented here, and most capably by General Dunford, who heads it up now. And he's made a nice difference. The fund has made a tremendous difference. My wife and I have been supporting them for, I'd say, the better part of 10 years, if not more than 10 years. And so we're very excited about that. And we also have a number of other military organizations we support, but right at the moment, we're focused on the Semper Fi Fund.
Well, and you've always done a really good job, too, of finding different ways, I've found, to support the Semper Fi Fund. Not only do you directly support them, but you also support them in other ways by matching other people's work, myself included. I had a golf tournament that I did for a while for the Semper Fi Fund, and you were always very gracious about, well, what did he raise? He raised that much? I'll match it. And it always it doubled the numbers, which was, I found, just truly remarkable, and I always appreciated that too, so thank you.
No, it's always our pleasure to do something like that.
The Semper Fi Fund and the America's Fund, obviously it has this big Marine Corps, us being Marines, and has this Marine Corps heritage and tradition behind it, but I don't want people to get the wrong impression that it's just for Marines.
No, Rob, it started by Marine spouses. In the first probably 10 years of the fund, it was exclusively for Marines. And frankly, the Army, when they saw the model that the Semper Fi Fund had established, the case management, the visiting nurses, the veteran-to-veteran program, they actually asked us if we could support soldiers. And so this past year, we actually went over 50% of the folks that we supported in 2021 weren't Marines. But we're still helping all the Marines that need to be helped, but we've added to that the soldiers, the sailors, and the airmen, and Coast Guardsmen in some cases that need help as well.
Marine wives started this, didn't they?
Marine spouses started it. I was fortunate enough, Bob and I talked earlier, it was, we were in the 1st Marine Division at the time. This was the early days of the war in Iraq. Marines and sailors were coming home. Their families didn't have any place to stay when they came to visit in the hospital. They didn't have transportation. In some cases, basic toiletries and necessities. And so a group of spouses sat around a kitchen table at Camp Pendleton, California, and said, speaking of gaps, we're going to fill this gap. And they started, and now it's grown into the organization that we're talking about today, significantly different. But the DNA is Marine spouses taking care of Marines and sailors.
I love that. I love necessity is the mother of invention. And there was a need, and in classic Marine Corps and Marine Corps spouse tradition, they jumped in and did what they needed to do.
That's exactly
and
right.
It's grown ever since then.
And Rob, I should mention, Karen Gunther, who is the CEO, was the founder. And so the original group of spouses that sat around that kitchen table almost 20 years ago are still with the fund.
That's fantastic. I love to hear that. Mr. Parsons, you're a Vietnam veteran. You served in the Marine Corps honorably, wounded. There's a lot of things that you want to see done with regard to the care of our Marines. not only the Marines that are coming out of the most current conflicts, but also the Vietnam Marines.
I look forward to the day when our veterans come home, and because the treatment we're able to provide them, they're actually better off as far as PTSD is concerned than when they went into the military. That's the goal.
That would be amazing. That would be something obviously to strive for, clearly. The College Showcase, I mean, this is an excellent opportunity to put the Semper Fi Fund and America's Fund out there for the world to see, hopefully raise some money. What are your hopes for this week?
Well,
Put that out to both of you.
Well, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we have a spirited contest. I hope both funds have a way to raise more needed funds that Renee, my lovely wife, and I are going to put up to our foundation. And, you know, we're just going to stand back and see what happens, hope for the best for both of them, and off we go.
All right. Sir?
I'm hoping, Rob, that somebody on the 18th hole tomorrow sinks a 40-foot putt and actually has the Semper Fi and America's Fund edge out Mount Sinai at the end, but that both organizations get the visibility that I know we will from the tournament, but also the support that we need to take care of our people. And both organizations are winners, obviously, over the course of the day.
Absolutely. No, I like your plan. I like your plan. It's a proven plan. It's a proven plan.
That's what I heard.
I think you like his plan because you're captain of the Semper Fi team.
That's right. That's right. And we're gonna do good things. I have no doubt about it.